So I want you to use your prior knowledge, what you already walked into this class knowing, because I haven't taught you any of this. Use your prior knowledge about angles and try to match the vocab word to the picture. I will read them just in case you're not sure how to pronounce these. Supplementary angles, acute angle, vertical angles, angle bisector, complementary angles, and obtuse angles. Get ready because I will call on you. Number 1, supplementary angles are angles that add up to 180. So which one would it be? Which ones add up to 180? 100.
Oh, yes, right
Which one's 2 angles that add up to 180?
there.
All right.
Yes, that was, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't come back for it.
I did, but you weren't.
Richard, acute angle. Which one's acute? Here, I'll cross up the ones we've used. Which one's acute? Acute. B, that's 2 angles. I want an acute angle. F is the answer. F is less than 90, so it's an acute angle. Alejandro, what do you think? Which ones are vertical angles? You only have 3 choices left. Good. Those are vertical angles, and we'll learn more about that later. Niet, which one do you think is an angle bisector? Cut in half. Which one is cut in half? Does 50 equal 40? No, they're not equal. They're not equal. So this one, because it has a little arcs, A is cut in half. And then, Sabian, you're off the hook. I'll put your card back in because by process of elimination, complementary angles are angles that add up to 90. Very good. Okay. Get out your vocab sheet. These are the answers to your vocab. I want you to write the word. Number 1, the word is angle. Number 2, the word is acute. Write the word. I already wrote the definitions. I already drew the picture. And I just want you to write the word. And you're going to get to know these words throughout the whole unit. I'm not going to talk about all of these words in one day. I'll put you to sleep. You don't want that. So I'm going to talk about a few words each day. Oh, they grabbed them at the front. Okay. So you're filling out your vocab sheet. And you're going to start looking at this at home. And we're going to talk about a few of the words today, but not all of them. We have other fun stuff to do today. Number 1, angle. There are 4 types of angles. You're writing them down right now. Acute. Right. Okay, how about leave this screen and you have number 1. Angle. Number 2. Acute. Acute, right, obtuse, straight. Acute, right, obtuse, straight. Then we might have some new words for you. Number 6 is vertical. Number 7 is adjacent. That's how you say that, adjacent. Number 8, complementary. Number 9, supplementary. Number 10, that's old news, congruent angles. 11, angle bisector. And last of all, linear pair. Next, don't flip it back over again when you're done. We're going to do that bottom part where it says naming an angle. We're going to talk about how we're allowed to name an angle. Last unit, we learned how to name a segment correctly. So this unit, we're going to focus on naming an angle correctly. So the first word on your sheet is angle. And I want you to know what an angle is made up of. An angle is made up of 2, read it, what? Rays. So an angle is made up of rays, not of segments, not of lines. 1 ray and 2 rays. They have to have the same endpoint or a common endpoint. Okay? So the 2 rays are going to share an endpoint. Okay? Let's talk about how we could name this angle. Raise your hand if you think you know one way I could name this angle. It's on the back bottom of your vocab. What do you think, Jonathan? That is, okay, so that's the classification. Let's talk about it really quick. I can name something and I can classify it. Your name is different than like your age, right? You have a name and you have an age and you have a height and you have a weight and male, female, all of that. But your name is what people refer to you as, okay? So this is an acute angle, but it's not that angle's name. Sadie, did you want to try one? A way to name it? Okay. Who wants to try one? It's not going to be a vocab word, guys. It's not going to be a vocab word. Could I name this angle? Could I name it X? That would be a segment. YX would be well, in this case, it'd be a ray. How can you name an angle? That's one way. But that is one of your ways. You could name it angle 1. Because see, there's a 1 right there. You could name it angle 1. That is one of the ways. Give me another one, team.
Angle Y.
You could. Very good. You could name it angle Y. That is allowed. Where'd that come from? Right here? Yes. Okay, what else? Can't name it angle X, and we'll talk about what's special about why I can name it angle Y and not angle X. Use 3 letters. Angle XYZ, yes sir. And the last one, still 3 letters. Angle. Good. I had the same people participating. What is important? Ooh, don't put commas. Don't put commas. Don't put commas. And just put an angle symbol. You don't need to draw an actual angle with arrows, okay? You don't have to draw a figure. Just okay. What's special about Y? Does anyone know what Y is called? It starts with a V. Vertex. That's the vertex of the angle. So I can call it angle Y because that's the vertex. What do you notice about both of these? What's so special? What's the same between 3 and 4? Y is in the middle. So when you're naming an angle, the vertex is listed second every time. If you're going to use 3 letters, you have to name the vertex second. Okay, this one you don't need to write down anywhere. I just want you to look at this picture. Name angle 2 in as many ways possible. Okay. Raekwon, give me one way I could name angle 2 besides angle 2 because that one's already used. There's only 2 ways to name it.
Angle 4.
So this would be, angle 2 is this angle right here. So angle 4 is going to be a separate angle. So name angle 2 using some letters for me. Hey, John and Alex, no sirs. Let's go. Name it using letters. Good, but look, angle E. How many angles are at E, class? How many?
2.
So if you call it angle E, there's 3 different angles there. Will you know which angle I'm talking about?
No.
You won't. If I had 2 Johns, well, 2, let's say you all both go by Alex. If I have 2 Alexes in this class, and I just say Alex, you won't know which Alex I'm talking about. I have to say the last name. So you cannot call it angle E. You need to say more information. Follow it. Look, follow the angle.
B.
Keep going. B. Follow the angle. Good. E.
A.
Hey! So that's another way to name angle 2. B-E-A. Could you have gone the other way and started with A? Absolutely. A-E-B. Jonathan, what's another name for angle C-E-D? I already kind of highlighted it in green. D-E-C, and what would it be as a number? Angle 4. So it's important to be able to name angles when there's more than one angle in the picture. Kids can name angles when they're by themselves. That's easy. But when it's a picture with multiple angles, you have to be able to use 3 letters to name the angle. All right, so these are the only words we're talking about today. So there are 4 ways to classify an angle. Classify means kind of say what type it is. So acute means that it is greater than 0, but less than 90. Less, oh, that red. Oh, someone put something in the sensor. There was something in there. Okay. less than 90. That's a less than symbol. Okay. What about a right angle? Exactly 90. Nothing else ever exactly 90. What about an obtuse angle? Greater than 90. But less than 180. John, you got this. And then a straight angle? Exactly 180. So in this class, good news is we're not going to talk about reflex angles, which is when you go past 180. There's no such thing as reflex angles in our class, so you don't need to worry about it. So if you solve a problem and you get angle M is 197, you know you did something wrong because we don't deal with angles greater than 180. We also don't deal with negative angles, so you should never get a negative answer. All right. I have a, what's this object? There's an R. I have a ray, thank you. What could I do to my ray to turn my ray into a straight angle? What transformation could I do? Mirror it. So that's called reflect. Oh, good job, both of you did. I could reflect BE over point B. I could reflect it, and it would be a straight angle. There's one more answer. Rotate. And how many degrees would I rotate that ray to get a straight angle? Everybody. 180. So if I take this and I rotate it 180 degrees, I'm going to create a straight angle. Okay? What would I need to do to BE to make a right angle? Jonathan? Rotate it how much? 90 degrees. Okay, last question. What would I do to BE to end up where I started? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? That if you go all the way around, if you take this and you rotate it all the way back to where you started, it's how many degrees? Did y'all hear them? 360. 360 degrees. Isn't that like a move on a skateboard to do a 360? Okay, cool. I don't know. Ha ha ha. Protractor did it. Like a tractor. Okay, so we're about to use a protractor. That's a hint. Now, you may have used these before, but I'm going to remind you how to use a protractor. So, when you're using a protractor, it is important that you line up. You see this little line right here? Well, I can't draw on it. You see that line right there? That line needs to be perfectly on the vertex. And then, see where it says 0? That 0 needs to be on top of the bottom of the ray. You shouldn't even be able to see the number 0 because it should be covered up. Y'all don't have anything to measure yet. I haven't put it in your hand yet. All right, so if I've lined this up how I wanted it to, then what is the measure of this angle? Students get confused because they don't know which numbers to read. Do I read these numbers or do I read these numbers? They get mixed up. First of all, what kind of angle is that? Acute or obtuse? Acute. That's acute. So if you don't know which ones to choose, you're going to choose the small ones, right? But you could also just say you always choose the ones, oh, I did not mean to do that. You always choose the ones that start at 0. So this is 0, and I'm 10, 20, 30, 40. What would you say if you were writing your answer down? Isn't it a little bit closer to 50 than the 40, though?
I like 49.
47, maybe, 48. Okay. So when I'm grading these, I'm always going to give you a 3-degree cushion. So if the answer was 47 and you put 48, that's okay. If the answer was 47 actually and you put 50, that's okay. But if the answer was 47 and you put 51, it would be wrong because that's not within 3 degrees. Okay? Now, students can do that one just fine. They get confused when I give them one that's not like flat. Okay? Here's how to not measure it. Just stick your protractor right there and try to start reading it. No. Good. You must turn your protractor. Let's see if Miss Stanton remembers how to turn this one. Okay, I do. You need to turn it. One of the rays, I don't care which ray, but one of the rays needs to be on the 0. One of the rays needs to be on the 0. Now, sometimes if your protractor's larger, okay, let's say my protractor was that large compared to my angle. Sometimes you see how this, I can't really see where it's going. Sometimes you're going to need to take your ruler, sometimes, and you're going to need to make your angle longer. Don't do it freehand. If you're going to make it longer, you need to use your ruler. Okay? All right, I want you to do this practice. Check your answers to the front. I don't expect you to be done with the back necessarily, but check your answers to the front because you want to make sure you're on the right track. Well, that's an obtuse angle, so it can't be 35.
Miss,
You read the wrong side. What's up,
do we have to put the little angle? The little, no, the top, where it says like M.
Ooh, yes, because if you just put M, you've named a point.
Oh, okay.
And if you just put A, B, C without a symbol, you've named a plane.
And we have to name them like both ways?
It did say name the angle in 2 ways, is what the directions said. Now, this one has the less than sign. I would rather the angle sign from you guys, but sometimes the teachers don't know how to get the angle symbol on the keyboard, so that's why that's there. Answers to the back. Here you go. Can you check them, please? You got to know if you got it right, because you're going to have a major grade on this next week. Number 4 was a right angle. It was 90 degrees exactly, so it was a right angle. Bless you. Number 5 was 73, but give yourself a little cushion. And number 6 was 105. Remember, if your protractor is a larger one, you're going to need to make some of these longer. You're going to need to extend them to be able to measure them. And you do that with a straight edge. We are going to learn how to do 2 things. We're going to copy an angle, and we're going to bisect an angle. Alex, what does bisect mean?
Oh, no.
Your card is up. What does bisect mean? So if I had a segment from last unit, this is old, and I bisected it, what did I do to it?
Split it.
Yeah, split it into thirds?
Yeah.
No, split it into half. So bisect means cut in half. That's what bisect means. So first I'm going to show you how to copy an angle, and then I'll show you how to bisect. Don't do it with me. Please watch me first, and then you may do it afterward. Okay, so to copy an angle, you're going to put your needle on the, what's that called? The vertex. It is also the end point of the ray. You're totally right. You're going to open up your compass however much you feel like. Just don't open it past the end of the ray. Rays don't have ends, but on the paper it does. So you're going to open your compass. Oops, that's not how you're going to do it. You're going to open your compass however much you want, and you're going to make an arc. Don't do it yet. You're going to keep your compass at the same setting. Don't do it. You're going to go down to your ray. You're going to put the needle on the vertex, and you're going to make that same arc. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2, this is where you're really constructing it, okay? Step 2 is you need to go back up here. You need to put the needle on one intersection and the pencil on the other. So you need to put the needle where the arc hits the ray here, and you need to put the pencil, let's see if I can do it on the computer, it's a little bit harder. Ooh, perfect. Needle, pencil. You see where they are? Needle, pencil. Okay. So you keep your compass at that setting. Oh, no. Undo, undo. Do I have an undo button? Yes, I do. Okay. Keep your compass on that setting. You go back down to your arc. I'm going to have to do it with my mouse. And you put the needle right here where they intersect. Come on, compass. That's close enough. And you make a crosshatch, kind of like that. You know that you're done when you take your ruler and you connect that dot to your original dot. And if you got your protractor out and you measured this angle and you measured this angle, they should be the same exact measure. Okay? So they're opening the compass. They're making an arc. They come down here. They make another arc. Oh, they're so much better than me. Look, they put the needle and the pencil there. They come over here. And then they connect the end point to the intersection. I'm going to keep on playing this as many times as y'all need to see it, okay? Watch it again. You already have the ray. Make an arc. Doesn't matter. Make an arc. Pencil, needle. Put your needle right there. Cross hash. Connect the dots. Congruent angles. Okay, you ready? Bisecting an angle. Bisect means to cut it in half. To find that ray that divides it exactly in half. Okay, so step one, surprise, surprise. You're going to put your needle on the vertex. And you are going to open it up however large you want. I'm going to make mine a little bit smaller for these purposes. And oh my goodness, you're going to make an arc. So far, this looks exactly like last time. Here's where it gets easier. I need everyone's compasses down. Look at me at the board. So, I made an arc. My arc intersected my angle twice. So, all you have to do now is put the needle on one of the intersections and make an arc. And then put the needle at the other intersection, which is easier to do not on the computer screen. Put it on the other intersection and make another arc. Those arcs are going to cross, and you are going to use a ruler only, not freehand, to draw a ray where those intersect. So you're making 3 arcs, and you're never changing your compass setting. Okay? I'm going to play. They didn't make one full arc. They made 2 separate ones, but you could make one contiguous arc. Put the needle there, put the needle there, and boom, you've got an intersection. And you put your ruler right where that intersection is. Watch it again if you need to. Finish the rest of this practice. And raise your hand when you need help. This one is not the same size as this one.
Wow.
Just divided it perfectly into twins. Sorry guys, I thought it was on auto repeat. Here we go, again.
So no matter how long you get?
Right, you can open your compass however long you like, but you keep it at that same setting the whole time. I'm just looking for This website is called Math Open Reference. If you want to watch it again at home, if you Google bisect an angle, this will be the first thing that comes up. But this is called mathopenreference.com. They are the best website for constructions. Flip over to the back if you're done with the front. Well, yeah, I said if you're done with the front. So, you can't do this one. So number 4, let me tell you something about number 4. Do I have it on here? Okay. Number 4 asks you to construct angle A plus angle B. So on number 4, you're going to go back to the top. You're going to copy angle A. It's going to look something like this. So this is number 4. You're going to copy angle A. Here's angle A. But then where you left off, and this is tricky, where you left off right here, you are going to copy from here to like, this is kind of angle B. From here to here, you're going to copy angle B. So you're going to have angle A, and it's going to be what's called adjacent, which we haven't learned yet. Angle A adjacent to angle B. And that is angle A plus angle B. So that's how you add angles. You copy an angle, and then right next to it, you copy the other angle. You don't leave any space.
Why did you put the M?
Oh, I put M. Measure of angle A plus measure of angle B. M means measure. Thank you for asking. You're going to see that throughout the whole unit. I sometimes forget that y'all